This is a nightmare. Monsters, myth, murder, occult, cults. Join Connie Baffery and Lucy as they discuss all things evil. Prepare to be dragged to hell.
So welcome back
to Drag to Hell.
Mwah! With moi, Connie Baffery.
And me, Lucy with the fur. So today,
we're going to talk about the most evilest monster.
We talk about some pretty scary shit here, but this takes the cake.
They've been around forever.
And they're probably one of the most unexplained legends or myths that we're going to discuss on this channel entirely.
And you've probably witnessed this creature.
You have probably seen one in person. If not, you've definitely seen footage.
Or you've been victimized by one of these creatures.
I hope none of our listeners have been victimized by these creatures.
Oh, girl. You know, they strike anywhere. They are the Karens.
It tastes bad coming out of my mouth.
Look, I've worked in retail, hospitality, and healthcare. I've been at the blunt end of the Karens screaming in your face.
Oh,
there's the Karens and the Darrens, and they just don't relent.
So the male version is a Darren?
That's what I call them. I call them a Darren.
Yeah, I reckon Darren. Like Dazza.
Dazza and Kazza.
Yeah.
Now, I know a lot of Karens, like women called Karen, and they're all lovely. None of them have ever gone Karen in front of me. So I'm going to preempt this with saying, if you're called a Karen, it doesn't mean you're a Karen.
Yeah, if you act a Karen, you're being a Karen.
Now, everyone has seen footage of these things.
Everyone. That's what Connie and I do in our spare time. We sit down and we just watch Karen compilations on YouTube.
One of our favourite channels is called Karens in the Wild.
And it starts with a screamy, high-pitched Karen. If you see a screamy, high-pitched Karen in a car, you know you're in the right video.
It's a fantastic channel on YouTube. Love it to bits. Only because I can relate to every single situation because I've witnessed almost all of them. So Karens, as we said, are everywhere. Every race, every nation, everywhere.
Yes, but there are a lot in America.
There's a lot in America that we see.
See.
There are Australian ones, as you remember, the Bunnings Mask Woman. And who also then burnt her bra and something else a few days later.
Oh dear.
But Karens have been around for a long time.
So Karen can be traced all the way back to 1949.
But the name Karen's been around approximately since the 1940s. But before that, it was a derivative of the name Catherine. So Catherine became Karen.
Oh dear.
So now we have Karens.
Karen.
And generally spelt Karen.
Yeah.
But I know a Karen who's spelt Caren.
Yeah.
Karen or Karen.
Karen.
Which sounds more Danish.
Yes. A lot more sophisticated.
Yeah. But before the Karens, if you're a 90s child, you might remember the Beckys.
Ugh, the Beckys with the not so good hair.
Exactly.
I remember in high school, there was a Becky that called my best friend a slut. And I threw a coffee at her. That was probably one of the most aggressive things I've ever done. That's a lie.
That's a blatant lie.
But honestly, fuck the Beckys and fuck the Karens. and fuck the Darrens, because fuck all of them.
Yes. And then there's the subspecies of Karens.
The Methany.
The Methany.
What I would give to actually have the confidence of a Karen or a crackhead. Like, they are in public, they make a scene, and they just don't care. I wish I had that confidence.
Yeah, the Karens have, like, it's become such a pejorative term,
Pejorative?
like, insultive term,
Yeah.
for anyone who kicks up a massive fuss.
Well, they know what they did.
Like, you see them, they go off the deep end. There's the shallow, oh, sorry, there's something wrong with my food, to the, you're gonna fucking make it for me again, and you're gonna do it this way. Even though I ate it 2 days ago, I want a new one.
They're off the deep end. Watch them complaining.
Scream about medication.
Oh,
I've had them scream at me about medications.
oh dear.
But they just go from 0 to 1,000 very quickly.
They want the manager now. Well,
Yes. Well, the Beckys always used to be synonymous with Ugg boots, coffees, flip phones that were all bedazzled.
and like that, the orange tan with the white lips. I
Yes.
can envision one in my head now.
Yeah, like how the Ganguro girls look. They were based on the Beckys.
Oh,
So, and that's not to say that there aren't still some Beckys out there.
you know who you are.
We do know who they are. Karen. Have you ever witnessed a Karen?
I have been unlucky and lucky enough to witness a Karen in real life, in its natural habitat,
Do tell.
often asking for the manager.
What happened? What's the most memorable Karen?
I wouldn't say the most memorable, but definitely the most recent with the COVID happening. In the first wave, I remember I was in Kmart and this woman, I was at the other end of the shop and you could hear her through the whole store screaming at someone, put your fucking mask on, which I mean, like, justified, but this woman picked up a trolley over her head and yeeted it across the aisle she was in. And I'm just like, this woman was like a head shorter than me as well, and she picked up a trolley. Like, that's commitment.
That's that adrenaline, that fight or flight adrenaline.
But I'm just like, girl, just walk around the other side of the aisle. Like, you don't need to yeet a trolley. But, you know, that's just Kmart.
Yeah, no, that's Kmart in Nowra.
Yeah.
I've witnessed that without them being Karens.
What about you? What's your most memorable encounter with a Karen?
Witnessed or interaction?
Either or both.
So my favourite witnessed one was at a McDonald's.
Oh, excellent. We love a McDonald's Karen.
So a woman got her coffee order and she wasn't happy with it. And next minute, she literally threw it at the girl and said, make it again, but not that black bitch. I want the white girl to make it.
Whoa.
And then, like, the staff told her to leave. And she's just going, no, I want to speak to the manager.
She said the phrase.
The manager came out, and you know the girl that I'll be talking about. She's a bigger girl with darker coloured skin, and she comes out and she goes, no, I want the white manager. And it's just like, whoa.
I cannot believe that this race thing is, like, I cannot believe that people are still like that.
Well, I heard old people today talking about the damn N's and the gays having too much. Because here in Australia today, it marks a major event because coon cheese no longer exists, because coon is a racial slur. It's now called cheer cheese.
Cheer cheese.
And I mean, cheese makes me happy, so I'm down for cheery cheese.
Cheese is life.
Oh, cheese. Anyway, back to the Karen.
Yes.
So anyway, she was going off like that. Next minute, because late night here in Nowra, the cops all come to Nowra to
Of
get
course,
coffee.
Yeah.
The cops walk in,
Oh dear.
and they handcuffed her as she's screaming. You, how fucking dare you, you filthy black fucking bitch. And I'm going, I'm just sitting there like,
Wow.
I just came in to get myself some fries.
I just want fries.
That was, I'd say, the most memorable witnessed one.
That's just reminded me there was the Darren that time you were sitting around the corner and I was at the counter and they passed him his coffee and he goes, no, you stirred it the wrong way.
Oh, I wasn't there for that.
You gotta stir it clockwise. And I'm just like, are you fucking kidding? She looks like she's 10 years old. Leave her alone.
But there was something to do with the sugars as well. She
Yeah,
didn't do
has
the
to
sugar.
have 2.5 things of the sugar and have to stir it clockwise. I'm just like, wow, y'all specific, and it's
Because I was sitting around
Darren,
the corner
how
when
dare
that
you.
happened, and you all came over going, "Did you hear that?" I'm just like,
But like
no.
he was yelling at her, and he goes, are you fucking stupid? I'm like, this girl was so little.
Yeah.
Like she would have been.
To be
so
fair, she didn't know
intimidated.
what cutlery was.
She didn't.
I
know what
asked her for cutlery, and I had to actually do knife and fork things because she didn't understand knife or fork either.
Oh my god.
Remember?
Millennials.
I was just like, have you always eaten with your fingers or something? Like,
So
interact.
your interaction with a Karen.
Okay. So, I'll do a retail one first,
Oh dear.
and then I'll do a hospo,
Oof.
and then I'll do a healthcare one.
Out of the three, which one would you say was the worst? Or Karen's frequent the most?
Hospitality, I'd say, frequent the most.
You
But-
heard quit hospitality work.
The worst one I had was in hospital.
Oof. Okay.
So,
Tell me.
So with the retail one, I was 17 or so. I was working in a bakery.
Yeah.
And this woman comes in and goes, "Hi, do you sell bread?" Whilst behind me is like a wall of bread. And I went, "Yes, we do sell bread." "No, but do you sell bread?" It's like, "Yes, I have multigrain, white, whole grain. I can slice it however you want." "No, do you sell bread?"
I don't
I just-
understand the question.
And I said, "Sorry, I don't understand what you mean." Bread, you know, bread. Said, "This wall here is all bread and bread rolls. What one do you want?" "I want to speak to your manager." I was like, "Okay." Walked around the back, walked around the front. "Hi, how can I help you?" "No, I want your manager." "Hi, I am the manager. See how my badge says manager?"
Oh my god.
"What would you like?" She went, "I want bread." It's like, "Please elaborate." "I want white sliced bread." "I offered you that 3 times.
Oh my goodness.
But I want white sliced bread." "Okay," so I go and slice a loaf of white. And I said, "Do you want toast or thin?" "I just want white sliced bread." So I'm just like,
Oh my
you know what?
God.
I'm going to do half and half down the center of the machine. So she gets half thick, half thin. Because I'm not dealing with this. It comes out, she goes, "That's not bread."
What does she think bread is?
And I said, "I'm going to go get someone else." "Yes, your manager." I went, "I am the manager. I'm going to get someone else to deal with you." Got another girl, and I love her to bits, but I just loved her to bits. She was awesome. So she comes out and she asks the woman, "What would you like?" "White bread." She goes, "That's white bread there." She goes, "But I want white bread." And just like, she kept going, and I finally got to the point and said, "You either buy this loaf of bread or you leave." And so she left, and then she came back 5 minutes later with a loaf of tip-top white bread from the supermarket. "This is bread!" And it's just like,
Oh my god.
you walked into a fucking bakery asking for bread, and I offer you bread, and what you wanted was tip-top white sliced bread.
Why didn't she just do that in the first place?
If you would have said tip-top bread or something, I would have told you, no, this is bakery bread, because we're a bakery.
Jesus, Karen.
So that was my retail.
Alright, hospo.
So in hospitality, I am a trained chef.
Yep.
I've run cafes and done things like that. Had a woman come into the cafe where I was working, And she said, "Hi, I'd like to speak to a manager." I'm just like, "Hi, how can I help you? I'm the manager on shit." She's like, "Yeah, about 3 days ago I got something, I can't even remember what it was, some food product." I said, "And it wasn't quite up to my standards." It's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Do you have a receipt?" Sorry, no. "Okay, do you have the product?" "No, I threw it away."
Oh my god.
And I said, "Well, unfortunately, because you've thrown it away and you don't have a receipt, I can't do anything."
Yeah.
That meant she got the straw container that has the straws, ripped it open, threw straws everywhere,
Oh, that's so unnecessary.
took the coin change and threw the coin change across the room, like the charity tin.
Jeez.
And I said, "You need to calm down." "No, I want a refund." I'm just like, "I don't want to deal with this shit. Here's your refund for it." And it was only like $4 or something. And it's like, "I don't want to deal with this." And she's just like, "And I want more food." And it's just like, "No, I've been more than over accommodating giving you your money back." And she went on a tirade to the point of where me and another staff member had to frog march her out of the store, and then I locked the door
Oh dear.
because it was like 20 minutes to closing time anyway. So it's just like, I'm not dealing with this.
Wow. See, to have the confidence of a Karen, what I would give.
Like, I was just like, I don't want to deal with this. I don't have the energy for this.
Lol.
Because it was at the end of like a 12-hour day. I'm just like, I don't have the energy. I'll just deal with the refund. I'll deal with it. Not having a receipt, all that. I'll just deal with her.
It sounds like it was the better thing to do.
It was just the, I can't deal with this. It was that I can't be fucked.
Yeah.
Or fuck it, that'll do
Fuck
situation.
it, that'll
You know, our life motto.
do. Literally our life motto.
And I have to say, Dr. Google is the worst thing on earth.
Dr. Google.
Look,
Okay, so we're on to the hospital one.
oh yes, I'm a registered health professional
Oh dear.
and worked in hospitals, worked in ICUs and places like that. The amount of times I have had people tell me, "No, but Google says this, that this is what you should be doing," and it's just like, no, doesn't always work like that. But what does the doctor want? Doing exactly what the doctor wants. This is what the doctor wants. Oh, but the internet says this, and it's like,
Oh dear.
and this is how anti-vaxxers are born.
Oh.
They read too much on the internet. And the anti-vaxxers, how many of them are Karens that we've seen at the moment online?
So many.
Anti-vaxxers and anti-maskers.
I cannot believe that it's such an ordeal for someone just to put their masks on for like 5 or 10 minutes, do their shopping, and take it off in the car. Like,
What annoys me most is the people who are pretending that they've been raped to say that someone held a hand over their mouth and the mask is traumatic, because that kind of belittles and demonizes and devalues people's true
Authentic,
experiences of
yeah.
it. Like,
Yeah,
how dare you pretend to be a victim
yeah. Just because you're trying to like hop onto some fad not wearing a mask.
thing and scream and shout about it.
Like, honestly, medical excuses, if you can scream about it, you don't have a medical exemption.
There's very few medical exemptions from it, actually.
Yeah.
When you look at the list, most of them are to do with like autism and sensory issues. Most people who have breathing issues can, if you're on oxygen and that, it doesn't make a difference. This is according to Australian standards. It could be different elsewhere. If you have impaired sinus breathing, like me, you can technically not go out with a mask. Because I can't breathe from my nose at all.
Yeah.
But I still wear a mask because I can still breathe through a mask.
Exactly.
Like,
So,
these people go around acting like wearing a mask is the end of the world.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you have no idea. Imagine the poor doctors and nurses and workers that are in the mask all day, plus their uniforms.
Yeah.
Like,
I would be fucking over it.
It's
And then having to be on top of that, having to deal with you screaming about, I don't want to wear a mask because I have a medical exemption because I've got asthma.
or the religious exemption at the moment.
Oh my
That's the next one.
goodness.
I want to. None of them ever say why the religion says they can't wear a mask. And what I love is that the Pope has come out and said no, wearing a mask is an ethical duty, same as vaccinating
Yeah.
against it.
Yeah.
So these Catholic, like if you're a Catholic or a Christian denomination, you should be wearing a mask generally.
Yeah.
I want to know what the reasoning is.
Yeah. Like, it's my religious freedom. It's like, fuck off, Karen.
Some of them with their religious freedom. That one video sticks in my head so much. So there's one of this woman who's found these religious protesters on a street,
Oh my goodness.
and they have signs that say, like, if women wear pants,
They're the
devil.
devil and
gays are the devil,
unbaptized children are the devil.
short hair is manly and therefore
You're a devil.
you're a devil. And they go on and on and on. And then the most insultive bit happens.
So a woman is trying to talk to them and ask them why they believe what they believe. And one of the guys go, can someone come and control their woman? Like, the owner of this woman, please come and control her. If I heard that, I would be shook to my core at what would happen after that.
So much respect to the woman who was filming for not just leaping at
Like,
them.
I
I have respect for them because they just walked away. I don't think if I was in that situation, I could walk away.
No, I would not have handled that situation in a civil way at all.
Yeah. You were with me in Kmart when I had the argument with the people in the centre trying to get me to sign up for something.
No.
Was that you? And I made them
Maybe.
cry
Yes.
by throwing facts back at them.
Yes.
So-
Yes, that was
In my younger days, I used to be part of Amnesty International and actually led a branch. So I'm very well versed on human rights issues and that. And these group of people would not stop harassing me to come sign up for stuff because I left Amnesty International because I didn't like the way things were being run back then.
Yeah.
Like, it's changed a lot how they do things now, so it's very different to 10 years ago because I used to lead the youth branch. And these people started telling me, how I don't care for people and that. And I had enough. I turned around and I just threw facts at them saying, this is what's happening. By you doing this, you're actually belittling this, and that term that you're using is incorrect. That is wrong and offensive. And I made them cry.
Lol.
And there was other people around us who gave me applause as well, and I was just like, ooh.
Love that.
It was great. I like when that happens because I hate people acting so self-righteous that they ignore other people's opinions and beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the defining characteristic of Karen.
So, Karen takes off when there's an Urban Dictionary about it.
Oh, yeah.
So the Urban Dictionary reads as, often a middle-aged woman, typically blonde, makes solutions to others, problems and inconvenience to her, although she isn't even remotely affected. So there's 3 examples of a Karen.
Oh, fantastic.
1. Karen sues the local city council after they installed a new stop sign that hides the sun from her window for 2 minutes a day. The sign was installed after a schoolboy on his bicycle was hit by a speeding driver and died. Example number 2. Karen refuses to wear a face mask for her 5-minute trip to the supermarket during a pandemic. She harasses the workers and asks to see the manager and threatens to sue. And the 3rd example is Karen complains that her favorite parking spot was replaced by a ramp for wheelchairs. She parks her car in the old spot anyway and shoots a vlog about it. This was issued on June 1st, 2020.
So, That reminds me of an incident when I was a child.
Oh dear. Way back when dinosaurs roamed the earth.
Exactly. So we live in a country area, right?
Yes.
So my neighbors had chickens, and we had chickens.
No.
And we had new people move in from the city behind us.
Oh, city Karens.
Now, anyone who's had chickens knows that chickens just cluck.
Yeah.
We didn't have any roosters because we're not allowed roosters. Okay? The people who moved in behind us complained to council about the sound of chickens because they moved to the country to escape noise.
Oh my freaking god.
That happened when I was a kid.
Wow.
And then I remember this was an incident that was in the newspaper. And I completely forgot about it until you started reading that because it reminded me of it. So there's a local nudist beach around here.
Oh my god, I see where this is going.
And it's pretty obscure. It's pretty hard to see in general because you have to walk down a cove and then walk around. And it's a beautiful beach. It's one of the most beautiful beaches in the area. Except for when there's every bits and bobs. Look, I've seen them all. I've been up close and personal with every bit of anatomy of the human. But when it's on mass, I can't handle it. And that's me being brutally honest. If there's like a group of 50 people all naked, that's too much for me to handle. I can't handle that. Kudos to them, but not for me. So I've been to the beach once or twice, just on a walk, because you can walk around and onto the cove. So this woman complained that she could see naked people from her house. Now, when they were doing the investigation, it was found that she would have to stand on her balcony in the corner with binoculars looking at the beach to be able to see it. You couldn't see naked people with your bare eyes.
Oh my god.
And she won. So you know what the solution was? They planted a few more trees in front of it, and then she complained about the trees creating shade and blocking her view of the water.
Freaking god. Do you want naked people or do you want water, Karen? You have to have both.
Yep. The new beach is also a dog beach too.
Okay.
So you can be naked with your doggies.
Weird, but okay.
Back to nature. Personally, I don't see being nude on a beach as fun because sand getting up in places that it shouldn't. Does that sound nice?
My cloaca.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your moist mucous membrane.
Yeah. That is feral. That's one of the most feral things I've ever heard come out of your fucking mouth.
What, moist mucous membrane?
So, Karen, I cannot fathom the mindset of Karens. Like, let's talk about some of our favorite videos we've seen on the YouTube. So, a few come to mind. I like the one with the old lady walking her dog. And she's like, "Ow, your Doberman attacked me!" He's like, "It's not a Doberman." And it like pans over and it's clearly like
a cavoodle.
Yeah. And he's like, "That's not a Doberman." And then you literally see full body shot of her. And then all of a sudden she goes, "Ow! Ow!" And she starts holding her leg. She's like, "Your Doberman bit me!"
And starts screaming, "Help, help,
yeah, help, call the police." I'm just like, what the fuck? Is she on drugs? Is it crack? Is that what you smoke, Karen?
Yeah.
Like, that's one of my favorites anyway.
That has to be one of my favorites. One of my favorites is the woman at the beach with the tape measure. And you have no context to the beginning of the video, but all you see is her screaming with this like tape measure, like a work tape measure.
Flailing it around like a crazy
because the people were 3 centimeters too close to her.
Oh my god.
And it's just like, and you can see the husband trying to drag her away, and she starts beating on him.
Yeah.
My family's in danger! Danger!
Of you, Karen.
It's just like, you can see the husband going,
"Please just kill me."
Like, you just see him dead behind the eyes, just like, so you get the horrible feeling that it happened too often.
Yeah. Oh man.
Or my next favorite, my absolute favorite one, is the one on the bus.
Oh my gosh.
So there's this woman not wearing a mask, and everyone's asking her, please wear a mask. And she gets so angry that she spits on someone. So he runs up and pushes her out of the bus. Like, she spat on him.
And she, like, face slides across the ground.
And then someone else goes, what's wrong with you?
I would have pushed her, too.
I was just like, she spat on his face. I think that was pretty reasonable in my...
Silver lining here, he was wearing a mask.
Yeah.
But spitting, that's not allowed. You can do whatever you want in your spare time, but if you spit on someone, you deserve what you get.
Like...
You deserve that authentic 2020 treatment.
Yeah. Oh, I know what one you love too.
What one?
The Macca's one.
Oh, so I'm a fiend for Macca's political issues for reasons that I'm not going to name. But there's one, and it just starts at like a 50 with this big girl. She's a big girl swinging this little woman around like a rabbit, like a rag doll, because it was a issue over straws.
Yeah, because they had to give her a straw and a paper bag.
Yeah, because of COVID. And so she started throwing punches, and the big girl's like, you want to catch his hands? And literally just like shook her around like she was a lifeless doll. I love it. And then she runs off and comes back with a chair.
Yeah.
Like one of the metal stools. And I'd be like, you're going to want to make that count because you're going to be dead.
Yeah. One of the saddest ones I've seen is the girl who was working at, I think it's a Denny's or something. And these two men walk in without face masks. And she asks them to put face masks on. And they go, no. And they start to spill. She goes, you know what? Fuck this. I've had enough of these people. I quit.
Yeah.
And you see her manager run over, not wearing his mask properly. She goes, you expect me to tell these people to do this and do that? You don't even do it properly, and I get harassed all day. I quit. And he's like begging her.
I've seen one like that too, but it was a woman, and she's like, sorry, I can't serve you unless you're wearing a mask. And this woman's like, she had a mask in her hand. So obviously she had already been wearing one. And she's like, I'm not going to put my mask on for you to take my order. And then that escalates to this whole thing. And the girl takes her apron off, chucks the notepad down. She goes, you know what? Fuck you. Fuck this. I'm done. I'm not doing it anymore. Yeah. And she walks out. And the manager's like, is he serious? Is she serious? And then like walks off after her. But I'm just like, I'd do the same.
Yeah, these people, I'm so glad at the moment I don't have to, because I think...
See, but that's the thing, though. If I was put in that situation, and then it got to the point where I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I quit, well, guess what? I'm no longer a worker to a patron. I am a person of, like, I am a...
individual. Yeah,
one individual to another. Same level, bitch. It's on. If I've just quit my job, you're gonna wear it.
Like, some of these people go too far. Like the woman who threatens the kid over the Wi-Fi password.
Oh my god, if you don't give me your Wi-Fi, I'm gonna kill your dog. Like, what?
She was blank behind the eyes.
Yeah,
like,
she was like ready.
Like, I'm not easily freaked out by people. Like, I've been around true psychopaths and things like that, and I'm not freaked out by people often, but that she said it with no emotion in her voice, no nothing.
Over something so unimportant as a Wi-Fi password.
And she's saying it to a 10-year-old.
Yeah, like, I'm gonna kill your dog if you don't give me the Wi-Fi password.
Yeah, choose the dog or the Wi-Fi password. And you can imagine how terrified he is. He doesn't respond in like a second, and she goes, oh, you're a horrible person. And it's just like, oh my god. Some of them are so scary though. Like, if I had someone in my face, like directly, how close some of these people get screaming in my face, especially now during a pandemic.
I wouldn't cope with that at all.
I think I'd get done for assault charges, honestly, because I don't.
No.
Because I have some post-traumatic issues.
Yeah.
And that is a bit of a trigger for me.
Yeah, I would be very similar, as we both know. Macca's political dramas. But I feel like this is a good time for us to say that Drag to Hell does not condone the action of violence
No,
or Karenisms.
no. There's a difference between self-defense and violence.
There is. There's a big, clear difference.
Yeah. And look, I'm not a violent person. I may make violent jokes. I may stab my face with needles for performances and things like that.
That's just because she's a sea creature and she can.
Exactly. But I don't take it out on other people. There's a good big difference. I've only had 2 fights in my entire life, and one of them I don't even remember because it's completely blacked out of my brain. All I know is I broke someone's arm.
Well, it's good for that vault to exist, I reckon.
Yep. And there's lots of people like that where if something happened. The other fight I know because someone spat in my face.
Oh yeah.
That I remember, and I headbutted them and I broke their nose.
That's
That I remember because that I just don't take.
No, that's called for.
Like,
So I feel like we should put on our socials for people to inbox us their own personal Karen encounters.
oof.
And if we get more than what's a reasonable but not so high but not too
20?
high? Yeah, if we get 25 people tell us Karen stories, I will do a Karen inspired look. I will do it. I will do it.
Oh, you're gonna do the screamy face. I know.
I am. I'm totally gonna do the screamy face.
Oh, and the pin eyebrows, the pinpoint eyebrows.
Yeah. I feel like it'd be a mood. Who knows? Maybe it could be my new drag look. You never know.
You could also do if we get more than 50, I'll do a Becky look.
Ooh,
I'll do the orange face look.
Yes, love that. You heard it here. 25 for Lucy to be Karen, and 50 for Lucy to be a Becky.
Lucy to be a Becky. Awesome.
No,
I don't have to. No. She said it first, people. She said she'll do Becky.
To be a Becky and Lucy to be a Karen. 25 and 50. Do you think y'all could manage that?
And if we get 100, we'll do a combined look.
If we get a 100, we'll go in public and ask people if they are Karens.
Oh, or if they've witnessed a Karen.
Yeah, Drag to Hell live.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Well, I think that's all we can talk about with Karen.
Yeah.
The most terrifying creature of them all.
Well, let's pray to Satan that
people are not witnesses to the Karens.
And that the global pandemic takes out the Karens for not wearing their masks.
Yes.
Fingers crossed.
But they're also anti-vaxxers too, a lot of them.
So hopefully they're not immune to anything.
And hopefully they all join a certain cult that starts with a random letter of the alphabet that's usually followed by a U that ends in anon.
Anon. Ooh, alluding to something more.
Yes, we might talk about it.
Maybe. Anyway.
So you can find us on Drag to Hell on Instagram.
And Facebook.
And Twitter.
Yeah.
And you could also find
at _Lucy_